So that was the first big weekend of the summer. Starts Thursday as usual with a canteen quiz, and again no one wins a big cash prize. Later I do my sound bloke routine by approaching Gina's new boyfriend to say that he shouldn't feel there's any animosity between us, and then I even go and make peace with her. Shouldn't have bothered.
Charlie, Charlie, Charlie! It is Tuesday the 18th of August, 5 p.m. I'm standing here with a peach, Charlie. Do I dare eat this peach, Charlie? Do I dare eat it with you? Together with you? Yes, yes, yes. I need to start with an apology, Charlie. I know the last message you sent me was 3 months ago, and it was all about the Steger thing, right? The purpose, coherence, significance, the three meaning questions.
How can people work out the meaning that they've got in their life? What are the big questions that they should ask?
Yeah. So there are three big why questions that constitute meaning. And this actually comes from the work of Michael Steger, who's a really good social psychologist in Colorado. And he has the three parts, the three elements of meaning, which are called coherence, purpose, and significance.
As you can maybe tell if you have a look on, this thing here, I have been kind of consumed, exhumed, resumed in some shape or form by what I'm just calling midsummer love madness. I make no excuses for myself. I make no excuses. I have been chasing these damn peaches all summer. Well, just one really in particular, and which is why I'm here with you today, because I haven't done much eating of peaches. I have dared to eat the peach, Charlie. I really, really have. But the peach has not wanted to be eaten, the peach that I've been chasing. But this one, another matter, right? Another matter.
There was only one car going, so someone had to get the train. We got through quite late and went to a pub to take the gear. There was no problems getting in. We saw others waiting in the front of the queue, so we skipped in. It was a good night. Everyone was nutted and I ended up dancing with some blonde girl.
But before I eat the peach, let me put it in my special peach container. So this is what I carry around with me. This is seriously, I come out every day and I kind of dare to eat a peach because I have fallen in love or re-fallen in love with peaches, Charlie, particularly these babies this summer. So what I have in here is I have an ice pack, I have a lime, and I also have, something to cut my peach, cut and carve my peach, and we'll be getting to that later. The plan, right, is I'm going to do the Steger 3 thing, and then I'm going to read us Prufrock, because every time I go out with my peach pack, I think of you and I think of T.S. Eliot. I think of Prufrock and I think of this line that you maybe said to me for the first time 40 years ago. And I didn't even know where it came from. And you were like, well, Steve, but do we dare eat a peach? I was like, what? But now I know where it comes from. Right? You in true 5-wing 4 fashion. I mean, what are you, Charlie? What are you? SPSX 5-wing 4. I think similar maybe to Eliot. I think Eliot was maybe SP Social and maybe a 5-1-4, something like that. Which I think you might be as well. I think you might be that too. But yeah.
When the club finished, we wandered the streets for a while until we got to this 24-hour cafe. I didn't want to look at it, so we left and got a taxi back to Morag's flat.
Needless to say, this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to talk to you Steger, and then we're going to eat this peach together and read Prufrock. I don't know, and see what comes from that, right? See what comes from this form of poesis.
I couldn't sleep. So I sat about drinking someone else's strawberry tonic wine and tried to keep everyone else up.
Okay, so Steger 3, the three questions that get to the heart of where we find meaning in our lives. And let's start with purpose, okay? I think it's always been this way ever since you've known me. As teenagers, right? It's always been about poesis. That's my new word, or it's a very old word in the pre-Heideggerian sense, right? You know, running from Aristotle right through to the Renaissance. Poesis as the act of making something exist that did not exist before, like this. You know, the artist, the writer, the craftsman, the originator, imposing form on formless material through their will, through their skill, through intention, through productive rather than receptive means. The maker standing outside the made thing, shaping it according to a plan. The value of the work lying in how successfully that intention gets realized in matter or on celluloid or in this digital form, right? And truth is not really that important here. It's more about skill and originality and the gap between conception and execution. Poesis as authorship, right? You have the idea, you build the thing, and then the world has one more thing in it. Okay, and I can totally fuck with that, and I've always fucked with that, all right?
Then at 10 o'clock in the morning we went downstairs to buy some drink. We had intended to watch the football in the afternoon, but we passed it by then, slept right through it. I winked to find that England won 2-0.
And then of course I think even more meaningfully for me, and maybe for you as well, because you know you've got the MA in European philosophy, okay? Heidegger. So poesis isn't just about art or creativity. It's this bringing forth, this hervorbringen, okay? A way that something moves from concealment into unconcealment, from not being present to presencing, taken from the Greek, where you know it covered all the bringing into beingness of life. The carpenter making the table, okay, from wood into table, flowers blooming, poems as well. The crucial thing here being that whatever is brought forth was in some sense already latent. It's already there. All of these words were already there. It doesn't just manufacture the thing from nothing, it lets it appear. What was possible but not yet actual is now here with us. And that is also the connection to aletheia, truth as unconcealment, right? Aletheia, literally unhiddenness. And poesis is one of the ways that truth, however we understand that, happens. One of the ways that being discloses itself.
Same story as Friday, lots of hugging, lots of dancing, etc, etc. We couldn't sleep again, so we went to the park to look at the tomb, taking a detour through the play park. To get in, we had to climb over a 10-foot steel fence, which resulted in severe bruising in our hands, legs and groins. But we had a good laugh on the stuff, especially the tube slide, which probably doubles up as a urinal for drunk teens.
Questions concerning technology. I know you've read that essay. Let's talk about it. So that's purpose. Okay, coherence. Does my life make sense? Why are things happening the way they are? Can I fit my experiences into a story or into some kind of frame that makes sense to me? You know, to be absolutely fair, I don't think I could really do this until about 5 years ago. And what happened 5 years ago? Well, first of all, you know, I got well and truly fucked over by Eros. But having been fucked over by Eros, truly, brutally, like gang raped by Eros, okay? When I was just this sort of mangled, broken nothingness lying on the floor, all right? This person came along, I refer to as Resgu, my Enneagram guru, and she looked at this mangled, broken thing. This is the ego cage. This is the ego cage of 4, and you are in it, and well, you know, good luck. Us fools, we love to mope. We love to mope and lament and yearn and wait for the beloved to come instead of eating the frickin' peaches, right? So, yeah.
But the mist on the lake was cool.
But since then, my life has had greater coherence because I know what my fixation is. I know what my sin is, if you like. Envy, the glass half empty, not the full peach, it's the glass half empty. And hey, that gives me and my meanness some kind of coherence. And finally, significance. Does my life matter? Am I of value? Does my life matter? Am I of value? I think I can only be of value really in relation to someone else. And I mean, there's a couple of people in my life at the moment who I think value me and I value them. But beyond that, No. You know, this and whatever I make, including all the poesis, does it really matter, or is it really of value to anyone else but me? Probably not, and I'm going to be dead soon anyway, so that's neither here nor there. So on the significance side, I don't know, significance, schmignificance.
Then we watched these young girls in swimsuits have a water fight in the street. Keeping this in. We went up the pub about 10. It was busy for a Sunday night.
So, as I said, the plan here is to read, or in this case recite, because, you know, this is a poem that I kind of, well, I used to, let's see how it goes today. I used to have it in the old noggin, and who knows, maybe I still do. It's to recite to this peach and to you, Prufrock, and at the same time eat the peach. Now, first things first, important things first. Are you, I mean, presumably if you're eating a really delicious peach, you're going to eat the skin, right? Because the skin is not as exciting as the flesh, although with a little bit of lime juice, even the skin can be quite a delight. The way I see the skin, Charlie, and forgive me for being somewhat vulgar here, but you know, it is my dominant instinct, is that it's kind of, the skin is kind of like foreplay. The skin is kind of like when you're making out with someone and you're kissing their neck and you can just smell, you can smell the pheromones, you can smell them. And ideally they're not wearing perfume, because I'm not a big fan of perfume, but you can just smell them and you think, wow, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Okay, so it starts with the Italian, right? Se io credesse che mia risposta fosse a persona che mai tornasse al mondo, questa fiamma staria senza più scosse, ma perciò che giammai di questo fondo non torno vivo alcun, se odo il vero senza tema di infamia ti rispondo. Which is basically like, if I thought I was talking to someone who might actually make it back to the world, this flame, this one, would stop flickering right now. But since nobody's ever climbed out of this pit alive, assuming what I've heard is true, I'll tell you everything, no shame in it. And this is the everything with no shame in it, Charlie. Let us go then, you and I. When the evening is spread out against the sky like a patient etherized upon a table, let us go through certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights in one-night cheap hotels and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells, streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent to lead you to an overwhelming question. Or do not ask, what is it? Let us go and make our visit, right? In the room, I don't know which room this is, T.S. Eliot room, the women come and go. They're talking of Michelangelo. Who's talking Michelangelo? No one talks of Michelangelo. The yellow fog that rubs the back upon the window panes, the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, licked its tongue into the corners of the peach, lingered upon the pools that stand in drains, let fall upon its back the soot that falls from chimneys, slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and seeing that it was a soft August night, curled once about the house and ate that fucking peach. And indeed, there will be time for the yellow smoke and the yellow peach that slides along the street, rubbing its back upon the window panes. There will be time to prepare a face, a mouth, to meet the peach that is waiting to be eaten. There will be time to murder this freaking peach and create, and time for all the works and days of hands that lift and drop question on your plate, time for you and time for me, and time yet for 100 indecisions, Charlie, 100, and then we'll die, for 100 visions and revisions before the taking of toast and peach. In the room, the woman still talking on Michelangelo, who the fuck knows why. And indeed, there will be time to wonder. Do I dare? Do I dare? Time to turn back and descend the stair with a bald spot in the middle of my non-existent hair. And they'll say, Harry's hair is growing thin. My morning coat, my collar mounting firmly to the chin, my necktie rich and modest, but asserted by a simple pin. They will say, but Howie's arms and legs are thin. Do I dare, Charlie? Do I dare disturb the universe? Do you? In a minute there is time for decisions and revisions, which a minute will reverse. For I have known them all, and so have you already known them all, have known the evenings, the mornings, the afternoons. You have measured out your life with coffee spoons. I have measured out my life with little cups of tea. I know the voices dying with the dying fall beneath the music from a farther room. So how should we presume, Charlie? How? I've known the eyes already, known them all, the eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase. And when I am formulated, sprawling on a pin, when I am pinned and wriggling on the wall like some Nabokovian butterfly, then how should I begin to spit out all the butt ends of my days and ways? And how should I presume? You tell me. I've known the arms, already known them all, arms that are braceleted and white and bare, but in the lamplight, downed with light brown hair. Is it perfume from a dress that makes me so digress? Always, always, although not from a dress. I don't like a perfume dress. Arms that lie along a table or wrap about a shawl, and should I then presume? And how should I begin? Other than like this, to you. Shall I say I have gone at dusk through narrow streets and watched the smoke that rises from the pipes of lonely men in shirt sleeves leaning out of windows? I should have been, and in fact I have been, a pair of ragged claws, a pair of ragged scissors scuttling across the floors of silent seas. And the afternoon, the evening, sleeps so peacefully, smooth by long fingers, asleep, tired. Or it malingers, stretched on the floor here beside you and me and Max. Should I, Charlie, after tea and cake and peach, have the strength to force the moment to its crisis, poesis? But though I have wept and fasted, wept and praised, though I have seen my head grown slightly bald, very bald, brought in upon a platter, I am no prophet, and here's no great matter. I have seen the moment of my so-called greatness flicker. I have seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker, and in short, I was afraid. And would it have been worth it, after all, after the cups, the marmalade, the tea, among the porcelain, among some talk of you and me, would it have been worthwhile to have bitten off the matter with a smile, to have squeezed the universe into a ball, to roll it towards some overwhelming question, to say, I am Lazarus. I am fucking Lazarus, come from the dead, come back to tell you all, I shall tell you all. If one settling a pillow by her head should say, that is not what I meant at all, that is not it at all, I will say, it is, what a day's for, what a day's for, what a day's for. And would it have been worth it? Would it, after all, would it have been worthwhile, Charlie, after the sunset and the dooryards and the sprinkled streets, after the novels, after the teacups, after the skirts that trail along the floor, and this and so much more? Is it impossible to say just what I mean? Yes, it is, particularly if you're a frickin' poet called T.S. Eliot. But as if a magic lantern, right, through the nerves in patterns on a screen, would it have been worthwhile if one, settling a pillow or throwing off a shawl and turning toward the window, should say, that is not it at all. That is not it. That is not what I meant at all. Well, I'm sorry, you know, this is what it says you mean. No, I am not Prince Hamlet, although I am, nor was meant to be. Am an attendant lord, one that will do to swell a progress, start a scene or two, advise the prince. No doubt, an easy tool, deferential, glad to be of use, politic, cautious, meticulous, full of high sentence, but a bit obtuse, right? Like T.S. Eliot, at times indeed almost ridiculous, almost at times the fool. I grow old, Charlie, I grow old. You know, look, look. I wear the frickin' bottoms of my trousers rolled. My hair behind, there is no hair to part behind. Do I dare eat a peach? Yes. I shall wear white flannel trousers, walk on the beach. I have heard, I frickin' have. I've heard the mermaids singing, Charlie, particularly one this summer in my Midsummer Love Madness, each to each. But I do not think they will sing to me, Charlie. And that's how it has to be. I have seen them riding seawards, waves, combing the white hair of the waves blown back when the wind blows the water white and black. We've all lingered in the chambers of the sea. You have, I have. You know, seagulls wreathed with seaweed, red and brown, you know, till human voices wake us. And we drown. But does it matter? No, it doesn't. Because
This one is from my one and only true love, Princess Peach. Peach, you're so cool. And with my star, we're gonna rule. Peach, understand, I'm gonna love you till the very end. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh, Mario, Luigi, and a Donkey Kong too. 1,000 troops of Koopas couldn't keep me from you. Princess Peach, at the end of the line, I'll make you mine. Oh, peaches, 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 peaches.